What's going on, everybody, and welcome. So today we're doing a bit of a different video here on the channel. We are doing a top 5. We're doing a top 5 of the Freegunners that I think you guys should check out during this weekend's open beta, as well as when the game comes out, because I'm sure there might be a few balancing tweaks here and there after the beta, but for all intents and purposes, I'm pretty sure these characters are going to stay very much the same. So the first Freegunner we're going to talk about, and in the 5th spot, we'll probably, we'll put these in a little numbered form. 5th spot is Tio, right? So his kit is as follows. He has a crew bonus as a ranger, so he has better weapon recoil. His weapons are a Zeg 12 Guild Guard rifle, as well as a CL Rock 99 Guild Guard sidearm, one of the few characters in the game that can carry 2 weapons. His combat trait is rapid reposition. It increases his mobility after performing a dodge. His passive ability, tactical weapon sights. He sees enemies through smoke and while aiming down sights. Active abilities, smoke grenade. So he has a smoke grenade that produces a large cloud of smoke on detonation, as well as a cluster grenade. He throws a frag that splits into smaller explosives, kind of like a 9-banger from Call of Duty, but instead of being a flash, it's an explosive. His movement skills include being able to double jump as well as do a tactical dodge, which I believe in the game they call a double dodge. So Tio is a really good starting character for anybody jumping into the game. He fills a role similar to Soldier 76 in Overwatch. It gives you very similar gameplay and feel to people who might play Call of Duty, Battlefield, or all those, first-person military shooters. It's great for people coming over to try out a hero-based shooter for the first time. Now, I'm not saying a lot of people are coming to a hero-based shooter for the first time, but if you're a COD player, you've played nothing but COD, and Concord is something that seems to pique your interest, I would say jump straight in with Tio. He wields 2 really good DPS weapons. He has a great movement skill. The multiple dodges he can pull off, I believe it's a 3-second cooldown on a dodge, which is pretty low compared to a lot of the other Freegunners. He has a great double jump, and he's also armed with 2 types of grenades. One that is really good for the attack, the grenade, 9-banger, really good. Smoke is also great for attack. Being able to shroud your enemies in smoke and then be the only one in the room that can see them through that smoke is a great tactical advantage. I tend to keep the smokes for when I'm trying to get away. Having that little get out of jail free card when you're taking damage and you're being chased, you can just pop a smoke and use it to disappear it's really good. Tio's great at getting in, taking people out, but also getting away when the heat is on. So yeah, Tio, number 5. If you're jumping in, you're a COD player, you want to give this game a go, I would say Tio is a great place for you to start. Okay, coming in at number 4 is Jabali. Now, Jabali is a hybrid sort of damage and healer, very much like Moira from Overwatch. I think that's where he's going to get compared to a lot. Me and my friends tended to call him Seer in the game because he very much aesthetically looks like Seer. So his kit is basically, he's a ranger, so he has better weapon recoil. His weapon is a pulse-guided seeker rifle. It's sort of like a pulse rifle LMG. His combat trait is Pulse Radius. It increases the radius for the Life Pulse healing aura, which we'll get into in a second. His passive ability is Life Cycle, so taking down enemies or hitting them with a Hunter Orb recharges Life Pulse. His active abilities are Life Pulse. So Life Pulse, you launch an orb that creates a radius of healing around an ally. So really cool, really straightforward. Basically, you throw that pulse, you pick up the ball yourself, or you can throw that ball onto teammates, and it creates an area of healing around them. So you can effectively turn yourself or your teammate into a mobile heal beacon. The other orb you have is Hunter Orb. It's an enemy seeking orb that inflicts damage and is really good for those clutch situations, or situations where someone that you're fighting gets away and you've run out of ammo. Throw your Hunter Orb, it'll find them, it'll finish the job for you. His movement skill is pretty straightforward. He has a triple jump ability. So Jabali is a really good support character who's really good at healing allies and doing damage to enemies. He's that real good, hey, I feel like healing today. Hey, I feel like doing damage. He's a healer that can get the job done. His pulse guide rifle makes him a medium range fighter. So he's not going to be doing anything sort of long range, but up close to medium, he's going to be pretty deadly. And he's also got that offset of, as a healer, normally you are encouraged to stay back and heal, but the more damage he inflicts with his Hunter Orbs, the better his healing performs. So it makes sense for him to be in and around the fight. He's more of a combat medic rather than, someone who holds back and heals from afar. So if you're the sort of person that likes to be a team player, heal people, be able to support people, but also get the job done, then Jabali is a definite must. You should try Jabali. He's a lot of fun, and his gun is pretty fun to use. Okay, coming in at number 3. This was super hard. So I'm giving number 3 to Amari. So Amari is basically the Reinhardt of this game, a tank character with a shield. Her loadout is as follows. She's an anchor, so she has increased incoming healing. Her weapon is a rotary scrap cannon. So it's like a giant chain gun. The combat trait is Sinji Shield. She deploys a projectile shield generator that grants armor. Her passive is Tough as Nails. She receives reduced damage to her body. So her active abilities are Armorer Generator, so a stackable ability that generates armor for nearby teammates. She has a projectile shield, which creates a shield in front that blocks projectiles. That's very Reinhardt. And her movement skill is she can only do a single jump. But honestly, she's not the sort of character you're going to be jumping around and doing a lot with. She is stocky. She is a tank. She is the damage taker, but as well as a damage dealer. She's built like a tank, but can also just shred enemies with that cannon. She's the anchor. She protects her teammates with the projectile shield, but is also really good at buffing them, giving them their own additional armor. Basically how it works is she has like a hand shield generator that she'll shoot to the ground, and anybody within the radius is able to get shields from her and then run off and basically get into a fight with a little bit of an overshield. She has a great defense stat, and really she is, unless you want to play as the Roomba, which we'll get into in a different video I'm sure, she is perfect for damage as well as defense, and it just makes her, in my opinion, a must for any sort of competitive makeup, competitive team. She's just a must. I love her. She's great, and definitely deserves a spot on my top 5. So this next character could easily have been my number 1, but I've put her in at number 2 because I think there is a character that is just a little bit better for a newcomer, a little bit like more fun to play. Well, not necessarily more fun to play, but just a bit more user-friendly. So coming in at number 2 is Itzy, who is probably my most played in the beta so far, and my favorite character that I've had a chance to jump in with. Her personality, her moves, and her kit are just next level fun. So her kit is as follows. She has a crew bonus of Haunt, which increases her mobility. Her weapons are an electrostatic SMG, and let me tell you this thing, it's a little shred machine if you're accurate enough. Her combat trait is evasive maneuvers. It increases mobility when her hit points are really low. Her passive ability is mirror image, so dodging or cosmic slip can create a decoy. So effectively, whenever you use your dodge ability, you will leave decoy behind that will confuse enemies, and they'll just start shooting at that rather than seeing you. You also turn invisible for a couple of seconds there. So her abilities are cosmic slip. You throw an orb to a designated location, and on second activation, so throwing L1 will send this orb out, and when you hit L1 again, you will teleport straight to that orb. Her other ability is Scramble Rebound, so it disrupts an enemy's weapon with chaos energy and then returns it to Itzy and supercharges her weapons on contact. So it's effectively, you're sending out an orb, you're staticking somebody's weapon. When that orb returns to you, your weapon gets like what feels like about like a 5-second buff, making the weapon just really, really strong. Just does more damage. And her movement skill is she can double jump. Her movement is insane. I've had so much fun playing as Itzy. She's like my trump card when we're playing like an elimination round. Like if I feel like we're about to win or we're against the wall, I pull out my Itzy. She's fast. Her ability position her as one of the fastest free gunners in the game. She can distract enemies with her decoy as well as get behind them. The dodge is just incredibly good in the middle of a firefight. Her weapons disruptions abilities are absolutely insane. And just in major intense situations, she is just such a good trump card in order to confuse the enemy as well as getting a whole bunch of damage all on her own. So if you're looking for a really fun character to try out during this open beta, please, I implore you, give Itzy a go. She is incredibly difficult to learn, but is so rewarding if you put the time in. Like, you've really got to put the time in, and she's a lot of fun. But yeah, she's great. Itzy, number 2. We come to number 1 with probably, in my opinion, the best free gunner in the game. We have Haymar. So, Haymar for me is always going to be in a top 5, whether it's top 5 coolest characters, top 5 DPS, just top 5 best in the game. I love Haymar. She is great. Her kit is like next level. So her crew bonus is Warden, increases her weapon's range. Her weapon is a flame shot bow, so it's less of a bow, more of a crossbow. Her combat trait is Hellfire. Extra charge for her wall of fire and reduced cooldown for blinding flash. Her passive abilities are flame shot charge, so overcharges the bolt if it's aimed longer, with the bow dealing more damage. So effectively holding down your ADS will charge up your shot, allowing you to do more damage with the bow. Her active abilities are blinding flash. Throw a projectile that flashes enemies and causes them to go blind for a short duration. Wall of fire, which basically does as it says, it creates a wall of fire after you throw a projectile to a designated spot. Super OP, we'll talk about that in a second. And her movement skill is she can hover and dodge in the air. Effectively, I would say it's very close to a Warlock from Destiny. The movement is very Warlock-like from Destiny with the hover, the movement, it's very, very good. She is a super powerful character, being able to hover and just shoot fire whenever she feels. Like, her flame wall ability can be used so many times, and like many of the other abilities, you can gain recharges on kills. You will be doing so many kills just with firewall alone that you will never feel like you've run out. Firewall is great. It is like the perfect combo starter or ender. If you're ending a fight with it, you're almost guaranteed to kill. If you're starting a fight with it, you're about to panic the hell out of somebody. So you better blind them quick and get in there with that bow. Being able to use her abilities to not only deal damage and take enemies out, but block pathways of escape, block people from getting in, hold down points. She's very versatile and, in my opinion, puts her right at the top when it comes to Concord Freegunners. She is amazing. She can get the job done basically on her own. She's really user-friendly, super easy to learn, and is just an OP character from start to finish. She is, without a doubt, the #1 character in Concord right now. So that is my top 5 list of Concord Freegunners to check out during the beta, and of course when the game launches. If you guys are checking out the beta, make sure to come back here and let us know if you tried out any of the characters that we suggested. Honestly, you could really jump in with any character. They all have something to offer, and they're all a great amount of fun. But yeah, guys, thank you so much. I hope you really enjoyed this video. If you guys have your own tier lists, let us know down below. But yeah, make sure to come back and let us know if you jumped into the beta. It's a lot of fun. We'll be jumping in, so if you want to come and check us out on stream, there'll be links to the stream down below. But yeah, lots more Concord content coming up on the channel very soon. But that's going to do it for me today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you like the video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to stay up to date with everything we're doing here at 1UP, as well as all of our Concord content. But guys, until next time, may all of your games be good ones, and I'll catch you guys later. Bye, everybody.